Marvel is facing a tough week as it deals with two major problems. On one hand, Marvel's trailer received a lot of dislikes from fans who were unhappy with it. On the other hand, Jonathan Majors, the main villain of the MCU, has been accused of multiple cases of harassment and has been ordered by the court to appear on May 8. This is not the first time that Majors has been in trouble with the law. Last month, he was involved in a case of assaulting his girlfriend, but he managed to get out of it. However, this time his own management agency has dropped him as a client. In Hollywood, actors need to have agencies to get roles in movies. Without an agency, Majors will have a hard time finding work in the future. This raises doubts among Marvel fans about whether he will be able to play Kang in the upcoming movies. There are also rumors that Marvel insiders are already discussing the possibility of recasting Kang's role. We have seen how Disney handled the Johnny Depp case before, so we don't know what will happen next.
Cool Geeks Tribunal, eternal, forever.
Cool Geeks Tribunal, we're back, full effect. A lot going on. Jonathan Majors is serious right now. I was trying to take my time with delving into this. That's why I didn't do a video on this topic when it first broke in March. So let me see what's going on here. Let's see how all of this unravels. Where is it going? How far is this thing going to go? Is it just going to be glossed over? It's just a thing, like just a baseless accusation, doesn't affect his career, doesn't affect the movies that we're anticipating coming out, we're looking forward to seeing. Yeah, doesn't seem to be going that way. This is turning into a serious possible cancellation right before our eyes, right? Man. So, let's see. Jonathan Majors has now been dropped off of 2 movies that I guess he has signed up to do. He has been dropped by his manager. He was dropped by his publicist. His inner team is bailing on him. I've heard, well, not heard, but read like that, you know, he's been viewed as not the easiest person to work with. It's possible, it's true, you know, it's always best to treat people, you know, right. And, you know, hopefully they will say nice things about you. The photos he took for Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan, those didn't go over too well with certain people where he felt like it was a little too effeminate. The cover of Ebony magazine where he had the pink on with the flowers and everything, people also felt the same about those images with him. And it just seems to be, if you're looking at it from the outside looking in, not being privy to knowing what's going on as far as the abuse accusations, because they are accusations, so we don't know. But he's definitely going through a bad time in publicity, and it's making me wonder. There's always the saying, like, there's no such thing as bad publicity, because as long as people are talking about you, then you're still hot. But you don't want this type of talk. You don't want this going on, you know. So it seems that his personal life does definitely not jive with the super woke movement that Disney and Marvel has going on right now in their movies, which coincidentally has not really helped their bottom line, because a lot of people seem to be complaining and up in arms about, you know, a lot of things that are being depicted within their movies, and it's just more of being a PSA for different movements as opposed to just giving us really good stories cinematically based on what we grew up reading and some of the new stories that are coming out in the comic books these days. And people don't seem to really be interested in that. But being that that's where the companies are at right now with their movies and their scripts and what they're writing and trying to push forward, it doesn't seem far-fetched that Jonathan Majors may be really on his way out from the role of Kang and all of the variants throughout the multiverse. I guess they're going to just replace him all throughout the multiverse.
They might be already considering. They said, just in case, the dude that they're talking about right now is another guy who's on the rise, unless he up. Man, you know what? If this dude messes up, I'm gonna even be like, just get a white guy now. We're not having luck with this at this moment. This is the next person that they're considering to be Kang in the next phase of Marvel movies.
Hey, where the bitches at? Where the titties and the bitches?
I'm halfway joking. It's not that dude. It's actually this guy, Damson Idris, the guy that they're considering heavily to be Kang. He's a British actor. He's in that show Snowfall. Okay. He was just in Swarm. He's going to be in a movie with Brad Pitt, a Formula One movie where he's a young Formula One racer.
And if that should happen, who would be a good replacement for him? When Terrence Howard had a little bit of a falling out with Marvel and he was replaced by Don Cheadle, in my opinion, Don Cheadle's a better actor. And it worked out well. But Don Cheadle didn't really have the look, but he had definitely had the acting chops to play Rhodey or War Machine. When Mark Ruffalo replaced Ed Norton as the Bruce Banner in The Incredible Hulk, as the Hulk evolved and went on, didn't really love it. The way he was depicted in 2008, that was perfect. Excellent. On the Bruce Banner side, on the Incredible Hulk side, it all came together perfectly. As it went on with Mark Ruffalo, initially in Avengers Part 1, it was great. You know, he kind of gave you the vibe and the energy of a Bill Bixby during that Incredible Hulk run from the television show from the late 70s into the 80s. So it was cool. I think Mark Ruffalo himself in many ways has always been good as Bruce Banner, but the Hulk side of him started to take on a persona feeling a little bit more like Shrek on steroids. So hopefully if they do replace Jonathan Majors, they find somebody that one can fill his shoes as a great actor, because even though the Ant-Man movie wasn't well received, his acting role, the way what he brought to the character was received very well, I believe. I think he was the bright spot in Ant-Man, where typically Rudd is the guy. Like, he really, you know, brings it home as Ant-Man, but in this last one, not so much. Also, the physical prowess of Jonathan Majors. Are you going to go and try to match that and find a new actor, or do you go the total opposite, contrary of that? Now, he gives off a very intimidating sort of energy and vibe, but I never felt like, while Jonathan Majors is great and that helps the character, I haven't felt like he should be the next big bad guy on the block for the MCU, replacing Thanos. He was more of an Ultron level threat as opposed to a Omega level sort of threat, in my opinion. You know, he doesn't necessarily have the powers like that. You know, I get it, he's from the future, so the access to the technology and being intelligent and everything like that. But I just really like his tie-in to, you know, Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, and that helps bring that story along. And, you know, Doctor Doom and the teaming up in the comic books of Kang and Doctor Doom. I thought that would be really good. So he's kind of like middle ground of maybe a little bit above Ultron, but not quite Thanos. And that would be a nice setup until you can lean into like the Secret Invasion or Secret Wars or whatever may come of that. But on the real side of things, in reality, if Jonathan Majors is not guilty of this feels very much like a shaman ritual, almost like he's going through a fraternity sort of initiation. You know, like it's just like this Hollywood thing or something, like where you just gotta, you know, have your name, you know, dragged through the mud, and then maybe you might come out of it, you know, when the pressure comes off of you. If he is guilty, then, you know, this is a mess of his own making, and, you know, hopefully he will get what he deserves, you know. But I think in any event, with so many brothers and sisters trying to get jobs in Hollywood, if we're just going to look at it on the surface level, you know, it's unfortunate because he was like becoming the it guy. You know, he was becoming the guy. Like, I mean, nobody's the guy like the way Denzel is the guy and has been able to run unscathed throughout this industry for the most part, you know, without any true scandal. But you know, it was kind of cool, you know, to see him come up, and we like to see like where his career goes, and, you know, if he can sustain this, you know, does he have more roles to, you know, what is his range as an actor, you know, what stories could he be telling or whatever. So I just would like to give him the benefit of the doubt, see where this goes, let more information unfold before we pass judgment, and hopefully before Disney passes judgment and pulls him from the role of Kang. You know, let's just see where it goes, because I don't really see anybody else coming through and doing a job. And it's going to be kind of hard to see anybody else in that role. You know, I get it. He's not like Tom Hiddleston as Loki, because he hasn't been playing Loki for the last 10 years or Kang for the last 10 years the way Tom Hiddleston has. But it's going to be difficult, I think, still to see anybody else play that role. We've gotten, you know, really into just envisioning this guy like completing that and seeing, you know, where he takes it. So on that note, let's continue to, you know, watch the development of the story. We'll chop it up some more on that, but just wanted to bring a little something to you. Let me know, what do you think about, you know, the controversy surrounding Jonathan Majors? What do you think about him playing Kang? Would you like to see him be able to continue in that role? If not, who would you want to see replace him? And just where, you know, where's the MCU, you know, going to go with this character overall? So let's just keep watching, see what's going on. But, you know, like I say, subscribe for the vibe. Let me know in the comments what you think of everything that's happening. And Cool Geeks Tribunal bringing it out. Salute, cups up. Catch y'all next time.
Within us all live a Superman. Within our souls to survive. Don't you wish you were a Superman? Or don't you wish you were a Superman?